Hey, and welcome back to Artists Soar. We are excited. This is going to be our third episode, and we're actually going to be talking about lessons learned and what nobody has told you about starting an art business. And we decided it's going to be all over the place this morning. We've been everywhere and everything. I'm Rachel.
Stephanie Weaver.
And Jules.
So, we were talking about what we were going to talk about this morning, and we decided. Well, we were going through a lot of stuff actually, but we've settled on what you wish you knew when you had started your art business, and what no one tells you about owning and working. I just got done saying it's going to be all over the board because you're going to have someone really successful on TikTok showing their art turnaround thing, which they take way too long to do, by the way.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts. And then someone else is going to be making really good money at festivals and doing it and like putting in the legwork and because we know both.
Right.
So what are some things you wish you had known about the art business, and specifically for your artwork?
I think how much you need to diversify your income streams. Just because not only for economical reasons, the economy and markets and things, art is a luxury. I think having diversified income streams but they need to be things you enjoy. I also think along those same lines, it's okay to try something and not like it.
Yeah, I think it's really important stuff because I tried painting, teaching kids to paint. I found out I went to festivals, got involved in all that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
But
I
I
was
know
not a fan of festivals.
I had fun with.
Yeah, that she was impressive. But
I loved doing that. We did like this really cool dog show up on.
Yeah.
It was.
That was something I learned too, because like I didn't necessarily like going out and going, "Hey, would you like a pet portrait?" Blah, But she would just go, "Oh my God, look at your dog! Have you thought about getting a picture done?" Oh my God, she's awesome.
I know, right?
I mean,
so I wanted her all the time at that point. She was my salesperson. I just stood there and painted. It was great.
Yeah, but it was fun.
But that was also something I learned because, you don't have to do it all.
No, you don't.
Can, bring in people that have the good skill sets. And I think as an artist, that's one of the things you all the time is that you have to go alone, and you don't.
Yeah, but you definitely don't have
to. You were funny. I loved
it helps that there are animals, dogs, of course. But I think it was interesting that you said something about having different income streams, and we know a lot of people that work full time, and then
the art
on the side, or even have place at Little Mill, or they put their stuff in businesses. She works full time.
And that's another thing. Sometimes you have to,
right?
Because it's like any other business. Something I would told me that this is like any other business. It takes 3 to 7 years for it to take off, and you do have to work. And you threw a metric at me last week saying 70% of it is.
Yeah.
So by the time you go into business, you better be fast at whipping these things out.
Yep.
So that was also big. Oh, somebody's got to say something.
Yeah. I mean, that's 70% of the time. And I think that's another thing too, is you don't just go into business as an artist and do art 90 or 100% of the time. That's only about 30% of the time are you actually doing something that you love to do. You have to do all the other things, financials, the website, the marketing, and you need to know what marketing avenue you want to use. Do you want to do outreach? Do want to build relationships, you know, and if you want to build relationships, where do you find those relationships? Or are you going to try to do the long haul of social media? You know, there's all these different ways to do these. That's where you spend I'm on my computer doing stuff more than I am reading.
I think, well, I just had a thought, like what you were saying about marketing and all that stuff. It's like you got to be, you have to be okay with spending money as far
Yes.
as like marketing. Like you
Mm-hmm.
do need like at least just a landing, even if
Yeah.
it's like through, I don't know, like Google, but some kind of just cheap link page. You can find some free ones. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
Um,
if you have Adobe, or I think they call it Portfolio now, or there's Behind, and there's all these different things that you can use for
Canva, they
your.
have some free stuff,
Yeah.
and um, but you are gonna have to like put some effort into it. It's like it's a long haul. It's not you're not gonna just make a painting, which is your like favorite painting. So I'm looking at like one of your like what it's it's an awesome painting. Like wow. Okay, well you're not gonna have 50 people come knocking at your door
Right.
to buy it, and even though 50 people probably would buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If they knew it was there, but they're not going to come to you.
Right.
You
Right.
have to
You have to go find the people for that.
exactly
Find
Yeah.
your audience, market to your audience.
find.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
gotta really figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure out who your audience is.
Yeah,
That takes a while,
Yeah, it
actually.
takes
and
time.
sometimes your audience will change. And
Mhm.
like say you know,
you change too all throughout the whole. You
right,
know?
right.
Yeah, and I think that's what
mean-
people forget too, is that you're growing and learning things, and you are going to make mistakes, and that's totally okay as long as you learn from those mistakes.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just part of the process. I don't care what business you go into, um, you are going to make mistakes, and your business is going to evolve. I mean, I've always been a visual artist, but I started out in interiors and in commercial interiors businesses, and I still do some of that, but that what I did there is different than being a full-time artist creating illustration type work. Um, and I just guess my point is that you just have to let yourself know that it's okay to evolve, because I personally I struggled with that a lot. I wanted to keep them completely separate, and I didn't. It took a long time. No reason to keep them separate.
Right.
They're both visual arts. It's just another avenue to bring in income.
Right. And the thing is, it's like starving artist, that phrase, it's there for a reason. There's always
Mhm.
some truth in, something that's universal like that. I mean, like a lot of the classics, poor. They didn't sell. I mean, there's several famous people who sold nothing until they were dead.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
yay, pep talk this morning.
Yeah.
But to learn from that, so they didn't market themselves. They were like, I'm into just the art, me or
Right.
whatever, and that's great too. I mean, you got to kind of know what you're doing it for and your why.
And I think, and I think, I don't know. My thought on the whole starving artist thing too is I think we've done that to ourselves because we
Right.
haven't
Yes.
taken the time to learn the business.
Right.
Yes.
If you're in art school, I can't enough how important it is to take some business classes. If you want to be a full-time artist someday, if you want to run a company someday, and that doesn't matter if you're in graphic design or interior design or fine art degree. I think you need to take some business, because I didn't have any business classes under my belt when I stopped working full time in 2003 and went out on my own to freelance, and I just learned it all on the go.
I know
Yeah,
if you go back and listen to podcast, go to Apple Podcast and listen to the one Everson.
Oh yes.
She has her MFA, and
Mhm.
and they didn't touch on business at all. So she was having to get like basically a crash course in order to take this.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know with MFA programs now, there's still not any. There's no business. There's no marketing. I even heard a professor tell a student to not worry about a website. Focus on
What?
creating, right?
No.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. And then
That's
meanwhile,
crazy.
you got like this girl, Talia, who started painting
Mhm.
and advertising and doing all this stuff on Instagram, and now she's,
Yeah,
she's
we
follow
extremely
her. She's good.
successful. So I mean, that just goes to show, like, you have to put your work out there. You have to grow to love and share. I mean, you love the process, right? Extend that process to loving the people that
Mhm.
want to see and be part of that.
Right.
And by showing that your pieces, you're extending that love of what you do. So just kind of
Exactly.
get over yourself. That's another big piece of advice. Get over yourself. Nobody
Mhm.
is as critical on you as you are on yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if they are a little critical, because we've gotten, I've gotten hate before, and screw them. You're said and done, because you're gonna think about it and think about it, and it's gonna marinate, rot.
Mhm.
But the truth of it is they're probably just so just let it roll off off your back.
Well,
and keep going.
that's like with anything though.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
true.
It is.
Because if you keep your tribe around you, those who want you to eat, girls, your people, the haters are the ones, like you said, they're mad that they didn't find a way to do it the way you want to do it. Hello. They're upset that they didn't find a way to be successful the way you do.
Right.
And it's hard, you know what? It's hard to look at them. They're behind. So,
I like that.
you know what I'm saying?
I
So
do,
just
yeah.
keep going forward. And
Yeah.
not everybody's journey is going to be the same. So
Right.
just definitely.
Kind of looking at some of your notes over here.
Uh-huh.
The realities of client work life. Realities of some of that.
Yeah.
It's long.
Yeah,
It's so long.
It is long. It's
Wait,
hard.
like introducing new pieces? You're saying like,
Yes.
That,
okay,
and,
so-
finding that work and then putting those plans together and stuff. It's like, right now I'm working on a product launch for next
Mhm.
week on my website, and
so tell us tell us how you set that up. Like,
let's make that the
A-B.
next episode.
Okay.
oh, is
okay.
it that?
It's a lot.
It's a
of
lot,
work.
and I still don't know what I'm doing completely, but it is
Write
a
it
lot.
down. Product launch.
So,
but I think in regards to this topic, I think the realities are, I think that goes to that diversifying income
Mhm.
streams is,
I like that.
artwork is a long haul. And, you said something a minute ago about sharing your work that popped into my mind too, is, that is part of that long haul. Sharing your work is a long game for people to see you, find you, and it helps you find your audience. And yes, there's going to be theft of your artwork. And I hate to say it this way, but you kind of got to get over yourself.
That's really.
It does suck, and a lot of the
You-
theft is coming from countries where we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Copyright law.
But it's gonna happen. At some point, it's gonna happen.
But
and
didn't we decide at one point, if you're sharing your work, share it at low quality
Oh yeah, always show.
DPI.
But there's so much you can do
And you
now.
can do some watermark on there.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what you're doing in Adobe, which
Yeah.
I don't even know that much, and I can take watermarks off anything.
Right. Well, nowadays with all the AI and stuff, it's so
yeah,
easy.
you can take it and kind of make it something similar, and then still
Right.
take it, but do it at a lower DPI. Yeah, it's probably not going to be the best showing of your, but at least it protects you in that way.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I mean, don't put anything high resolution out there.
Yeah.
Do all the protections you can with locking down your website from right click and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a big one.
People can still screenshot it, but again, it's going to be low res. But I think that's really important is, you have to share your work and you have to promote your work. And if you want to sell your work, and Target isn't going to sell their spring line if they're not sharing their spring line and their, well, I was going to say catalogs, that's dating myself, but however they share it nowadays online and stuff. But that's all part of the process.
And don't be afraid. I mean, when you're starting out, you're like,
what are you giggling about?
I just like watching the ping pong conversation.
I mean, but when you are starting out, because it's important, have a launching point, whether it be a website or, like we said, a landing.
Yeah.
Make it easy for people to get in touch with you. It does not have to be your cell phone number, like a good, Gmail account or something. Have and keep the stream of incomes different. Like, I know, like, one of our friends, she did like a lot of cards and put them in like little boutiques here in town, and that worked out great. I mean, I don't know, $50 a month extra, but like someone's got your work with your name on it now. Yeah. And they can go to your landing page or your website and look again and like, oh yeah, I do. I'd love some cards from Julie. So let me go see what's on for that. So I mean, there's different ways to market, and so it's not like you can't do it without doing all of this. But like we start out, this is information that you probably have kind of like a way forward with your work. Yeah. Because you're not going to be in a gallery. You're just not, or whatever. So
not anytime soon. Yeah.
Yeah, not starting out.
No,
not starting out.
Unless you're somehow, I don't know. Some of those kids, they're doing it where they're promoting their lifestyle versus. Yes, I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot too. Because these,
and the art's not that good. How they present themselves.
Right. Oh, I know.
And I think
like,
that's
people
the thing.
love it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like you're kind of selling. Are you selling art? Are you selling the whole picture? Are you a brand with your art? Because that's new, and I mean, like I said, people are doing fabulous on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Well, and like you said, you're like, and I'm like, more power to you though, girl, like, or boy, or whoever it is. And there's a lot of cool, just new, different ways to really get and try it all.
So this is something that I kind of drew because I'm like, we're video here. Okay, so here. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Creating the entire lifetime. And then as you create halfway through, start promoting what you created, and then do it all over again. It's like a continuous cycle. Yeah. And you're even when you create something, video it while you're creating it. But it's gonna, once you hit that part where it's moving, your amount of time that you have to create on that old piece is diminished, because by that point you should start starting in. Yeah. So you're gonna see, like, you're going to spend a lot of time creating the initial piece, start promoting it, start another piece, creating it, promoting it, and it's going to continue to eat away at your time, because it's just a constant cycle of
creating. Yeah. And then promoting that overlaps. Yep. Yeah. So, well, let me ask you this then, and I'm going to ask the audience as well.
There you go. Great pro. It's just a constant thing.
So I have this piece I did, just of a whiskey bottle, and halfway through doing it, I thought, I should have been filming.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
And I'm like,
that's my constant problem.
That, or
you know what I mean? And I don't
want to.
I'm like a website marketing person, and I'm like, why didn't I do that? Because like beginning was like really good. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to be more intentional about promoting. So painting, and I'm at least trying to get pictures of when I'm starting. I don't really have it set up well where I can film too. You're really good,
Yeah, I'm good at
and
the
you're
filming
you're
part.
getting
I'm
a lot better.
putting
I'm
it all
trying.
together. Putting it
Yeah.
all together. Like I've got a whole folder of all these videos and photos from that last mission.
Hmm.
The
Oh,
4 foot
good.
but I have yet to put it all together. And it's
So
been what, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
so that's one thing. I think it would be a great question for our audience because um do you do like you just take pictures as you go, because sometimes it's hard to set up go and then put it together as like a slideshow. I'm not gonna say,
Right.
but a video of pictures, or do you try and video it the whole time and be conscious of like what is it? Not slow time lapse.
Oh,
kind of
time
thing.
lapsing. Yes.
I'll tell you, like CapCut's got a new like AI feature that will take all the videos, photos, and everything and AI button.
That's so.
And I gotta play some more with that.
I mean, Adobe too.
Does it?
Yeah.
But
You got to have that, I mean, it's if you
that's
can't afford that, like CapCut,
well,
and
CapCut's nice. The AI feature.
whew,
Yeah.
That's
So.
that's a little pricey.
I know,
But
that's
it's
the
really
thing,
cool.
Is like,
Yeah.
that's the thing is like there is some money that you have to invest, and
Yeah,
I
there
know that's
is.
a lot of what people complain about in the beginning. Is yes, it does take money. Like a website costs $50 a month, mine's up to like
Yeah.
$150,
Yeah.
and the software, Adobe,
Yeah.
Canvas, $12.95 a month.
Yeah.
So these things cost, so you have to be prepared in the beginning to either cover your costs with your art or some other means.
Yeah.
Like
Right. Right. Another job.
Yeah.
Which that's what I do as I'm growing the art business is have another job that it's still within the art realm, but it's what pays the bills until the other takes over.
I don't think I would put anything on a credit card though.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Try and
Like,
do it
Try to
all
do cash
don't
if
do
you
that.
can. Yeah.
That's why like a lot of the kids that I work with, when I say kids, they're like in their 20s. I encourage them to go ahead and start promoting their art now.
Yeah.
While they're
Yes.
still on their parents'
Yes.
payroll, and because it takes 3 to 7 years.
Yeah.
It
really does. Unless there are those that are very fortunate and it takes off right away. But there's also times where even in the long run, so I was one of the fortunate ones. My business just, when I went out on my own, I had the relationships built and it just took off. But then when I moved and things got slow and whatnot, I had to learn how to do all these other things. Marketing side, especially because I never had to. I had the relationship build. The type of marketing I was doing was based on relationships. And I think that's also what people need to look at is you may be one of the fortunate ones, but still learn all that stuff while you're fortunate. I regret not learning more about that when but I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't have this tribe at that point there. So it all takes time, and everyone's journey is a little bit different, but there is a lot you have back end. Not all about creating, and it's not necessarily about good art either.
I know one of the things that I really is getting a agent, and even that is going to work. Just
Yeah,
not
It's
only
a
do you have
lot
to
of work.
produce a lot of work, but then you got to find the contacts, put together all these
Yep.
lookbooks and products and market and
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's
And it's a slow process for me
Yeah.
because I don't have a lot of hours every week that I can dedicate to that.
right.
If I had 10 to 15 hours a week I could dedicate to it, it would be a lot quicker. But lucky if I get 5 hours a week dedicated.
But
Wow.
I've been thinking about that. You've been doing that for your agents, like especially this year, and that in my back of my mind, and even after talking with Anne, um, and the way she like looks at new projects, puts together well,
Yeah, because
like
she's doing something different, but the process is
it's
similar.
similar,
Where
right? That's what I'm
it's
saying. It's the
yeah,
same process,
yeah,
and that's the thing. I'm like, for you and me, even though we're not like trying to get an agent or anything, we should have some. In my mind, I'm like on the website, and where people can like not just scroll through your work, but if I just go and have some like a video or something.
Yeah, I've got all that. It's on my website.
Yeah,
But I don't like you're having to create actual books.
projects for
yeah,
different
Yeah.
books. Yeah,
right.
but see, you could do that too.
You
Your
put the
nose
story
thing,
together
yeah, your
of your
stories.
collection,
Yeah, you could put it
basically.
together as collection.
Yep.
Yeah, it's on my website, and then actually outside my studio, I have like a little booklet
Oh,
that
that's
shows.
nice.
Yeah, shows
That's
the
right. You have your
the
binder.
yeah the well the binder and the picture.
Yeah.
That's such a cute.
Nice.
Go to her
So,
website, Stephanie.
how each so how do each of you structure your week
Ooh, how do you? It's
when you're, I
You've
think
got yours down.
sort of. It's kind of like whatever bubbles to. I have my list, but then whatever bubbles to, and that kind of goes towards like if somebody's waiting on something for me,
Mhm.
then I make sure that off my
Yeah.
and so that's what bubbles. That way I know work's getting done that doesn't involve me.
Right.
And as far as the creativity part of it, but that takes such a back. I might get to paint. I might get to draw like 15 minutes,
Oh,
but I can get like a quick sketch, and it's just practice.
Yeah, keep that muscle memory.
Yeah.
you have a
Yeah,
too.
I'm trying to clean my routine up a little bit. Just because I think I have too many pockets of not being productive right now.
What?
Many pockets of where I'm just like staring at my computer. Okay, I need to be doing, but I go down this rabbit hole instead of doing what I need to be doing. So I'm trying to get back into a stringent routine. Um, but I do. I sit down at my desk and done my morning stuff. Then again, client work comes first, so I hop on that, and then whatever I have left over towards the end of the week is what I get to spend on my art side of things, outreach, all those other things that come with trying to get my art seen by people.
I don't have a I so I have a new grandbaby. So like once a month I'm going things pop in where oh my schedule is all over the board. I did paint a little last week, two or three.
Yeah,
Something new.
nice.
So
Yeah, good.
I have a question for you guys. Do you guys find that you want to paint or whatever, but
Yes. Yeah.
why is
yeah,
that? Do you
it's not
think?
necessarily the computer, but like or
Yeah.
at the house. I'm like, I don't know, it just seems I mean, honestly,
It's true.
right now, because I'm like, well, I gotta go, because my
Mhm.
My studio is still kind of an office and here and
Oh,
there,
okay.
and like,
It's not ready for you.
right.
Yeah.
I have to kind of set it up a little bit. So it's a little bit of a, I'm like,
What about you?
let's go.
So for me, it's more, it's like I need to do my social media for this week.
Ooh,
I don't have anything posting today yet, and I need to do that this afternoon. Get the rest of the week outlined because I didn't do it last week. Yeah, it's more of that stuff. But I will say this week is my last, hopefully the last week, but we have a lot going on right now
Mm-hmm.
because we're moving our son into an apartment in Chicago, 10 hours away. So
yeah.
So-
And you got another one you're getting to school too.
yeah, and then
You
we'll
got
have
two
another
going to
one
school.
that
and then
will be
you got
going
one
also
to
10
school.
hours away. But she doesn't have, she's moving into an apartment of furniture. Hers is furnished. Not. So anyways, so life happens right now. I'm squeezing in everything I can for my business in moments that I'm not getting interrupted by one of 3 kids because they're home for the summer.
I don't miss.
So
I don't miss.
so
those days.
I lose time. I was thinking
Yeah.
this last week when I got interrupted, and I don't want to turn them away,
Right.
especially
Right. No, you can't.
because they're
Leaving.
right.
Yeah.
They're leaving, or like my 13-year-old is, she's sad because she doesn't want to be an only child.
Mhm.
So I my heart doesn't want to turn any of them away, and I'm not going to.
No.
But that does end up stealing pockets of time to do stuff. So I'm losing my pockets of time to do the art. I absolutely love an app called Freeform, and I have all these boards going of ideas of stuff that I want to do, but I just time to create the art yet.
Be
So.
on time. So here are so from our topic of like what we wish we knew before we started, have a little bit of a schedule.
Have a little bit of a schedule for
have
sure.
a little bit of a way forward, like in what you're doing. Definitely have like some kind of website.
Afraid to try things.
Try new things.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to fail. Put your work out there. Get over yourself.
Budget for advertising.
Yeah,
Yeah,
have a little bit of
software.
money. Have a
Yeah.
little bit of side hustle.
Yeah.
And just know it's not gonna happen overnight.
No, it's not.
I mean, we're still.
I'll never be where
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know.
mine's
I
gonna-
won't either.
I never
and-
imagined I'd be where I'm at right now. So, like, think about that's another thing I had to is evaluate where you are and how far you've
Yes.
because then
that's true.
recognize because
Yeah.
it is progress, little
Yeah.
steps at a
But let us know. Like, tell us things. You may not have thought of something. You may have been in our business a lot longer than. I mean, for me, that's not very long. So, but let us know in the comments what you recommend and send to those who are coming.
Yep.
Until next time.